so good. How about you?
Good. You know, it's been so long since Seneca Falls, but I'm really hoping that this will be just as great, you know?
Yeah, a tea that changed history. New York was abolitionist thing for a really long time, so.
Oh, hey, Carolyn. Lucretia.
Oh, hi, it's nice to meet you guys. Nice to meet you.
So tell us a little about yourself.
Well, I'm Beecher. I grew up in Connecticut, and I had a really good education there.
Oh, you know, I was really inspired by my good Quaker education.
Really? Me too. I have the female seminary.
Oh, wow. That's impressive.
Thanks.
Well, after my schooling there, I kind of realized a lot about education. I'm really passionate about it, so I wrote a lot of novels and textbooks, and I also opened up a few schools around the country.
Oh, wow. How interesting.
Thank you.
With founding schools and
Yeah.
such. Yeah, I actually founded the sophomore college.
Did you really?
Yeah.
It's a beautiful school.
Oh, thank you.
No problem.
Hi, ladies. Sorry I'm
Oh,
late.
Sojourner.
I brought treats.
I'll have one.
you.
Please pass them down.
It's
Okay,
so
too
great
excited.
to finally meet you guys. You guys have inspired me throughout my whole journey.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I'm so glad to be here.
We're glad you're here too.
Let me tell you a little bit about my story. I'm Sojourner Truth, and I was born in an upstate Dutch settlement in New York, and I was actually sold away from my family at the age of 9,
Oh my gosh.
and throughout my life I moved from plantation to plantation, and I finally found my freedom and escaped from slavery. And then I actually became a traveling preacher, which is really where I got my foundation. And then now I'm really strong in the abolitionist movement, and I'm so passionate about women's rights.
Oh, and how well we know that.
Oh my gosh, how inspiring.
Thank you.
Well, we're glad you're here today.
How's your sister Harriet Beecher Stowe doing?
Oh, she's really good. I just saw her over Thanksgiving, actually.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
I actually read her book, Uncle Tom's Cabin,
Yeah?
and it was such a powerful story. It really hit home.
Yeah, she's very passionate about the abolition movement.
Yeah, and I heard that you were at the Ohio Women's Rights Convention, and you just
Yeah.
made this amazing speech. What was it called again?
How could you not remember? It's called Ain't I a Woman? Your quote.
Yeah.
I've had 13 children and seen all of them sold off to slavery. I cried out with my mother's grief, but none but Jesus heard me. Oh, so powerful.
Really
No
is.
kidding.
It was the hardest to see my oldest daughter, Diana, get sold off. My little princess. It was such a royal tragedy.
So interested in education.
You know, I had the very good education, that I was talking about earlier. And I just believe that if women aren't given the chance to cultivate their innate powers, then we're doing not only ourselves, but the men in society a big injustice. So,
Exactly.
because if we don't educate the women that are 50% of the society, then we're 50%, pardon this, but dumber than we could have been.
Exactly. We really should have the same educational opportunities as men. I mean, they learn so much more than us. They have all these insane subjects to learn, but we don't get a chance.
And they teach us about homemaking, which is important. I mean, Sojourner made us those wonderful baked goods, and they're great and all, but there's so much more about being a woman. And I want to be the confident woman that I know I can be, and I want to
Exactly.
be the woman that isn't constrained by her husband.
Yeah, and I feel like women, we don't have political status yet, and hopefully we can get that, but I feel like maybe if we have the opportunity to learn more, we could get there, and we should become teachers too, so we can educate the men. While maybe we don't have a
agree.
chance, but we can teach them and influence the way they think, so our thoughts are still out there in the public.
That is such a good idea. And with both of us founding schools and universities, I think we have a great start with this because,
Yeah.
if we start educating the women, then we'll start, helping the women to become more vital members of society.
Exactly.
And because of that, I'm really hoping that women will become more better candidates for the job field, and that we'll be starting to get these better jobs that men traditionally have. And this is just something I'm passionate about because when I was working at the boarding school in New York, I realized that some of my male coworkers that were teaching the exact same subjects were getting 50% more pay than I was, that's not all right. That's not the way
not
things
at
should
all.
be.
With the whole human rights things, I'm really passionate about abolition because I think everyone should be afforded those equal rights. And it's just, I was involved through my husband, through my cousin, and, ever since the World Anti-Slavery Convention, it's just I've been impassioned by it, That was such a great experience.
It really was. Obviously, you both know that I'm really passionate about abolition, obviously from my background as a former slave. And when I finally escaped, I decided to dedicate my life to the cause. And I actually got invited to go to the Capitol by President Abraham Lincoln himself.
You did?
Yeah, and I actually worked at refugee camps to help the people that stayed there. And I worked at the National Freedmen's Relief Association. And it was just an awesome experience for me and really just made me that much more into the abolition movement than I already was.
Uh-huh. Yeah, of course, It's just been such a great movement for all of us. The greatest ideas from the people at the National World Anti-Slavery Convention. I mean, I know you didn't have such a good time on the boat ride over.
It was the mix of too many cocktails, and I was just a little too excited, seasickness.
Well, we'll talk about the temperance movement later.
Yeah. Well, anyway, this has been a great day. I mean, you're kind of making fun of me, and I hate it when you bring that up, but it's been great, and I'm so glad that we've been able to discuss these ideas, create some new ones, and I hope we can meet again next week.
Yeah,
definitely.
Would you guys like to come over to my place?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That'd be great. Okay, you bring the cookies,
I will.
and we'll all bring the ideas.
Sure.
All right. I'm really convinced that this has been a tea that changed history.
When we gain the suffrage, we need to go out and vote and change these issues.
That's an awesome point.
Mm-hmm.
It really is.
Should we practice our chant?
Of course.
Definitely.
Hey ladies, we're so fine, we deserve our rights this time. Hey ladies, hey, hey, hey ladies. Hey ladies, it's our time, we don't want to wait in line. Hey ladies, hey, hey, hey ladies. Hey ladies, this will be a turning point.